What's up everyone? Welcome to another video. In this video, I'll cover my experience with attending HomeGymCon for the very first time, and also show some cool things that I found. So, HomeGymCon 2026 was last weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and I attended Saturday only for the very first time. Looking at videos from previous years, it sounded like it's best to get there early in the morning because it's not as busy and you can talk to people and check things out. Then it gets really busy around lunchtime, and then cools back down again towards the end of the day. And also, on the last day, everything's for sale. They don't want to tear all that equipment down and bring it back, so you can get stuff cheap or even free at the end. So my plan was to show up right when they open and check everything out and talk to people, then just straight up leave at lunchtime and go get lunch somewhere else when it's busy, then come back and finish up the day. And I had 3 missions. Number 1, just enjoy the experience. Zero pressure to film anything. Just talk to people, check stuff out, and enjoy the day since it's my very first time. Number 2, check all the benches to replace this bench. This is the Kepi Bench 5000, which I've had for a while, and it's built like a tank, which is great, but it is a little bit heavy and cumbersome to move around. And I move it a lot, so I'm looking for something that's a little bit lighter and easier to move around. And also on the front foot, all this structural tube. When I lay down for bench press, my feet are on this tube. I'd like them to be on the floor. So, I'm looking at a Nighthawk style bench where it's just a foot pad instead of all this tube. And HomeGymCon is the place to do it. All the benches will be there. I can move them around, lay on them, check them all out, and pick my favorite bench. And mission number 3, with no pressure, if I feel like it, to film some cool things that I see. And when I get back, if I happen to have enough footage to throw a video together, I will. And I do. I filmed some cool stuff, and I'll show it a little bit later. But first, let's talk about my experience. So Saturday ran from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and I got there at the beginning at about 9:30 a.m. When I first walked in, it was huge. The first thing I did was walk around the perimeter, just to get an idea of the size and how to pace myself to get through everything. Then I stopped at a booth, and I talked to every vendor, checked out everything in detail, and after about 2 hours and realizing I hardly put a dent in things, I had to change the strategy. Instead of stopping and checking out every single thing, I kind of just started checking out things that popped out as interesting. But it kind of fixed itself because like I checked out a functional trainer in detail, and as I'm walking through the day, there's another functional trainer, there's another functional trainer. I already checked out a functional trainer. I don't need to check out 40 functional trainers. So it kind of worked out. I did not leave for lunch. It wasn't packed shoulder to shoulder like I expected it would be. Maybe because last year, like the venue was smaller, so they were packing more people into a smaller space. But this year was spread out. It was no problem to check out anything, regardless of what time it was. So yeah, I stuck it out. I stayed till about 3 p.m. At that point, I felt like I had seen everything I wanted to see. There was some equipment fatigue after 6 hours straight of checking things out. So yeah, I cut out an hour early before it officially closed, but I felt like I saw everything I needed to see and had no regrets. And I'll also point out that there were a lot of scheduled events. AMAs, deadlift competition, hand grip competition, some strongman stuff, all stuff that sounded cool, but I didn't have time to watch any of that stuff. So, how did the missions go? They went awesome. Mission number 1, just enjoy the show, talk to people, no pressure. It went perfect. I checked out the gym equipment. There was a lot of cool stuff. I didn't find anything I had to have and bring home. I'm happy with my home gym, but I really enjoyed talking to people. Sure, there were the monster companies, but a lot of the vendors were just regular people like you and me with an idea trying to bring it to market. I personally work full-time as a mechanical engineer, designing complex machines for a living, and I've also tried to sell some things. So I really like talking to people and seeing what they've designed and what they're trying to bring. I also really enjoy talking to other YouTube creators. Some of them are creators who I'm subscribed to and watch. I've been doing YouTube for 6 years now. For the first 5 years, I was pumping out a video once a week. This year, more like every 2 weeks, but this summer's been slammed. And talking to other creators was awesome. I would have loved to have talked to them longer, talk about YouTube, but I don't know if it was a pressure I was putting on myself, but I felt like they were all too busy filming and I didn't want to take too much of their time. So I didn't talk to them too long, but that was awesome. And now I'm sitting in my basement alone again, talking to a tripod. Just joking, I'm talking to you. I'm glad you're watching. You're awesome. But yeah, that was awesome. I wish I could have spent more time talking to other YouTube creators, talking YouTube, and I've got to find a way to do that more than once a year. And mission 2 was this bench. Time to switch to the B-roll. So I tested this bench, and another bench, and lots of benches. HomeGymCon is the perfect place to get your hands on all of this stuff and try it out for yourself. Otherwise, you're just relying on reviews, spending hundreds or thousands of dollars and hoping you like it. A lot of these benches were surprisingly heavy, but the stainless steel ones were no surprise. And I quickly found that I need the retaining rail over the ladder adjustment. Otherwise, without it, if you grab the seat, it'll just fly up. In the end, the Mikolo Bassett 2.0 and the Rep Nighthawk were the only winners. So now I just need $450 for a new bench. So I'll be using the Kepi 5000 for a long time. And I did ask about the floor models, since everything is for sale, but somebody else already asked about them and reserved them a long time ago. And last, I'll show you a couple cool things that I found, but I'll remind you again that my B-roll is not good. My plan was to enjoy myself and not worry about filming anything. But first up is the Free Max weight releasers. These allow you to do drop sets all by yourself. So if you're knocking out bench press, getting to the end of your set, and you can't push out another rep, they allow you to drop some weight. Then you can bang out some more reps. They're pretty cool. And it's a husband and wife owned company, and they manufacture them themselves. I really enjoyed talking to them and trying out the weight releasers. Next up is Husker Powerlock barbell cowlers. I've got a bunch of these generic cowlers. They work great on some things, but other things, maybe not so much. Probably because of all this equipment coming out of China with poor tolerances. But these adjust and lock on securely, regardless of poor barbell tolerance. But they've been around since 1986, and I've never heard of them. If you're living under a rock like me and you've never heard of them either, well, now you have too. And here's some footage from eccentric flywheel training. These have been around, but it was fun to try it out. It'll provide whatever resistance you give it. If you pull it lightly, it'll resist accordingly. And if you pull it as hard as you can, it'll still resist accordingly. And whatever resistance you give it when you pull it out, it'll also provide that same resistance on the eccentric when it returns. And it does have an app to track the resistance. It was interesting and fun to try. And last is the Tsunami Bar. This is the pro showing me how to do it. It's lightweight and flexible, and it's intended for you to move quickly, so it throws the weight around and you have to fight the dynamic load. It was interesting and a lot of fun to try out. So those were a couple cool little things, but of course there was so much more. And I definitely understand why the full-time reviewers stay from open to close all 3 days. I enjoyed myself and I would go back. On a future visit, I would film a couple dedicated little videos, and I would also spend more time trying to connect with other YouTubers. If any of this interested you at all, I would definitely recommend going. But that wraps this up. As always, I hope you found it helpful or entertaining. Subscribe for more how-to and review videos. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.